The one thing about finances that we're interested in is also a little bit worrying if you think about we actually use this to balance those finances that year, is the confidential settlement agreement of £6,475,000. Now, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that if I allegedly say that the confidential settlement agreement was for Steve Bruce and his staff.
Yeah, and I messaged you and went, hang on a minute.
Because it was reported at the time as 4 million, right?
Yeah.
That's possibly just for Bruce alone. I reckon.
Hey, that's our best second high selling ever. And there's a lot of Newcastle fans who have read this and have gone, we paid how much?
Yeah, you got his team. I reckon you got Bruce for 4 million, and I reckon you got his team for 2,475k. A bit of an odd number there, but I reckon you got that they were probably individuals that were added up rather than a collective.
But to be fair, it was nice for us to do something like that on someone else, and then it happened to us. Because the amount of time
we've just
that we've had
poached more as well, haven't we? So
yeah,
I've put given the way it's all played out, and potentially I've still got some Newcastle fans from when we talked about the Bruce situation at the time. I want to know everyone's thoughts on this. How do you think it's played out for both teams? Do you think it was a good deal for Wednesday? Because I can see this from different angles. Newcastle fans, let me know in the comments, do you think it was a good thing for you? I probably know your answer to that one now.
For us, I think it could have been a bad thing because we could have had that stability. He was starting to build something. He brought in the likes of Iorfa. He had good things. And he was starting to get something going. The way he left it didn't help us. If he said at the start of the transfer window that he was going, then we could go, right, end of season, fair enough. You tried your best. It's your boyhood club. Off you go. A Newcastle side, they didn't want him to start with. A lot of them didn't want him to start with. I'm very good friends with one of the YouTubers on here that does Newcastle stuff, and he said he never wanted in the first place. He's a good championship manager. He's just not a good Premiership manager.
Premier League, you're going to have to start saying
Premier
that.
League,
we're going to get so much grief. I know it's negligible, but I've said negligible about 5 times today. I apologise. But yeah, I think at the time, I still feel like the Bruce thing was the destabilisation of our club. So even though it's that's a good chunk of change for that sort of move
didn't help, though.
And the way he was poached. I think the timing of the move and the fact that we were left in limbo and the players actually seemed to want to play for Bruce.
That was our rebuild. But that was our rebuild season as well. That was meant to be the restart season. And I think there was a list of players who was ready to get in. And then that all went to mess, basically. It just didn't work, did it?
No.
We were all expecting that to be the rebuild season, a full season of Bruce in charge, get it all done and dusted. We go. Again.
I was so positive in that summer. I remember that because it's different. It's a different thing. Obviously, Newcastle were gutted to get him, and we were kind of like angry and gutted that he went because I think, I'll be honest, he has kept Newcastle in the Prem, and obviously it looks like it's going to be more of a challenge for that this season. But overall, it's been a case of, I think he would have been a very solid championship manager, and he could have. We were in a position when Bruce took over to push for the playoffs and push for promotion.
Nearly got it as
even
well.
Automatics. Do you know when he came in at the back end of that season, we were so close to just creeping in the playoffs after an awful start to the season.
It felt like that first season under Carlo where we went on that massive run just to get playoffs. And we all thought that might happen and it started to slip.
Yeah.
But you also heard back then things about things not being right behind the scenes, i.e. whatever it was. That's where we started getting cracked that something not right. And it's where we started hearing more of that, wasn't it? About players maybe not being right or injuries or, you know what I mean?
So, yeah, but he also did bring in I can't say his name, Sturridge?
Tony
Is he still here? Yeah, I don't know why I've just gone to you for pronunciation. I apologize.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But he did bring him in, and he did. For a while, we did seem to have a better injury sort of situation. Now it's gone to crap again. But
I don't think it's as bad as it has been. But I think you can't use this season as a proper tally for injury because they've not had a proper pre-season.
No,
You've not
that's
had that
true.
chance to recover. This season is an anomaly in itself.
What's annoying is like it's a telltale sign as well. Injuries this season could send us down. But yeah, I think the Bruce thing at this.
It's interesting.
Yeah, with some of our best players have been injured this season. But the Bruce thing, I think it's a good amount of money at the time because if you think about reinvesting it, but the way it destabilized our club, and you could say that it's just a coincidence. It was always going to happen. Maybe Bruce would have fallen off. I saw these players realizing that, well, this is a manager that's got so many teams promoted from this league. It's what he does. He gets teams out of this league, you know.
And I think when we got third under Monk, we were still on that like little wind of Bruce stuff going on. The biggest thing Bruce did was bringing the recruitment team. That's still here.
Yeah,
they're
and
still
unfortunately,
here.
we're letting some of the players that were recruited in that go on freeze. But yeah, I want to know because this is obviously a thing with Wednesday fans and Newcastle fans. With Newcastle fans, do you wish you'd have gone elsewhere? Do you wish you'd have backed Rafa? I remember at the time I was so shocked that they didn't back Rafa and then spent like, what's it, 40 odd million on Joe Linton and then he did nothing or something. And it's interesting. You wouldn't give Rafa money, but you give Bruce money. I tell you what, we'd have taken Rafa the other way.
Yeah. I never understood that.
I think we got a good deal financially, but in terms of the way it destabilised the club, for me, I think we'd have been better off with Bruce staying for a little bit longer.